This is Joe Pryor with the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City. It's another video about short sales. It's to inform Oklahoma City distressed homeowners to avoid third-party scams and third-party fraud when they're trying to avoid foreclosure. Now, previously I blogged about this, I have done videos, I have spoken in public about these third-party schemes. You know, in the past what's happened is someone has come to me and said, Joe, I'm going to do a contract on this property, and since the Oklahoma contracts say that these are signable contracts, then I want you to go ahead and now list the property for me and sell it at a higher fee, and I'll do all the negotiations, or in some cases say, well, we'll go ahead and let you do the negotiations, as long as that higher figure at closing on the back-to-back closing goes to me. So essentially what they're asking me to do is commit fraud. They're asking me to tell the lender that fair market value is, say, $100,000 on the property, but at the same time, what I'm doing is I've got a second sale that they don't know about at $110,000, and even though I'm not getting any extra commission, they're getting $10,000 for doing virtually nothing. Well, that's been pretty well documented at this point where I'm not getting those calls anymore, but here's the new thing that's coming along, and I have done videos about this previously. It is when a licensed realtor, in many cases, what they do is they come to you and say, well, here's the deal that'll make it okay, that'll make it where it isn't fraud. You're going to allow me to put a lien on the property, and that's going to give me an entitlement to the property. Now, the problem with that is, first and foremost, is that on the title, they're never listed. So if I go to the courthouse records, it's you. Second of all, they are not on the note and mortgage in any way, but it allows them to say that they're an owner of the property. Now, one that I saw today, which really irritated me, was that the homeowners were in the house. They had done this third-party lien to allow this realtor to say that they own the property with them. And instead of doing a disclosure, which is required by the state of Oklahoma, they were allowed, in this situation, what I saw in the MLS was a disclaimer. In other words, that we're making no representation, and it was done by this realtor, this company that was doing these third-party liens, not the real homeowner that's in the house. Well, that's also a violation of the rules by the state of Oklahoma, and yes, I'm going to file a complaint on it because I believe that this homeowner has had a negative impact put on them. This is a variation on the theme. It may be what they think is a clever workaround, but it's not. It is still a situation where if the property doesn't sell at that higher price, they're not going to close on it. And they're not going to tell the lender that they're doing a back-to-back closing and making that extra $10,000. And this is short sale fraud. This is why lenders are losing millions of dollars and why the federal government is cracking down on it. But I want to give you one simple test, and this ought to make these people go away. And if not, I want you to call me and let me know if you're in the Oklahoma City area. What they're doing is they're saying that everything is okay, but the real key factor here is they're not making any improvement in the property. None whatsoever. All they're doing is trying to get themselves entitled, quote unquote, and then sell the property for a profit. So unless they're willing to put money up front, cash money, to pay someone to replace the carpet, replace the roof, upgrade the kitchen, do whatever, and make a real visible improvement in the property, they have no right to a profit. And they are involving you in a scam that could potentially mean something criminal, and I don't believe that's something that you want to be involved in. And you can do a short sale without all this crap. In fact, you're making it harder to do a short sale. If your property's market value truly is $100,000, and yet they're trying to get $110,000 out of a $100,000 property, haven't you just made the short sale process harder? So deal with an established realtor with a good track record that includes us in the Oklahoma City area that have a high success rate, that do arm's length relationships, that don't charge any upfront fees whatsoever, do not make misrepresentations about being part of the government or being part of the lender, anything of that nature. Does this cleanly with the lender. And you will have an easier time with a short sale, and you won't have to be looking over your shoulder for the federal government to come after you later. So, that's my advice to you. Ask them if they're making visible improvements in the property and they are paying cash for that so that there's no extra liens filed. This is Joe Pryor with the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, where we deliver traditional real estate values with the speed of technology.